My grandma was like, I think I talked to her and she's like, oh, so you're all by yourself tonight? I'm like, yes, and I love it. All by myself. Don't want to be like,
I want to be.
I want to be all by myself. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Episode number 4. Christmas is over.
You made it. You made it.
You survived Christmas. It's done.
We survived Christmas.
Tick it off. It's done.
Another tick on our list.
Another tick on our to-do list. And actually today would be the 1st of January, huh? No, when would this be up? Is it
the 31st of December? I think you're going to upload this. Today is the 31st, so it's New Year's Eve.
Today is the very last day of 2021. Finally, it has been. What do you always keep saying? What do you always keep saying that it feels like it's still March 2022?
Oh, I saw this.
22, sorry.
Like, unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to come up with this, but I saw the meme that said, like, it's almost 2020. Oh my God. It's almost 2022, but I'm still waiting for March 2020 to end, which is so true.
Don't we all? It feels like time has stopped since 2020, since COVID hit and everything just slowed down.
We're like aging, but around us, I feel like we're all kind of stuck in this.
Yeah, it's like a really
March
weird
2020
metrics where we're all like in this bubble and just like floating, but time is standing still.
Yeah, it feels like it. Like, we haven't seen each other for, like, in person for 2 years. How?
Oh, wow, yeah, true. God, yeah, true. This one day in the parking lot of Victoria
the
Street
20th
Market,
of November.
where we said goodbye, and we haven't seen each other ever since, which is really sad.
That was before COVID. Before we didn't.
That was before COVID
that
hit.
There's such a thing as COVID.
Yeah, I remember early 2020, when it was like, there's this virus happening in China, and everyone's like, yeah, well, let's see. And now, anyways, this is not supposed to be a podcast about COVID, because there's a lot of media already talking about COVID, so we all have enough.
No, yeah, who cares? But yeah, we survived Christmas, and I hope, guys, your Christmas was good, because I do have to say that I heard from a lot of people they had to isolate, or family members had to isolate, so Christmas might have been a bit different this year. So I hope yours was great, or yeah.
Yeah, at least had a good time with your loved ones. There's people that lost people this year, lost very close family members. So yeah, I hope you had a good time with your loved ones. Like, you know.
Or by yourself, if that's what you chose.
Yeah, which you've done, Tina. You kind of decided to have a more chill Christmas. Yeah.
No, that's not true. Oh, no, you had Christmas Eve. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
You kind of had a chill Christmas. How was that?
It was nice, different, weird, conflicting.
Conflicting?
Yes.
What do you mean?
So on Christmas Eve, the guys went to someone's house. They had a Christmas barbecue, and I'm sure it would have been nice.
Christmas barbecue. You know that you're in Australia when you have a Christmas barbecue.
Yes, outside. The sun was shining. And
nice.
Yes, so I already decided a week ago that I didn't want to go. I just wanted to have, so the thing is in Europe, or especially in Germany, but I guess in Europe in general, Christmas Eve is quite a very important big thing for us. So that's where most of us get their Christmas presents, sit together. So yeah, Christmas Eve for me is definitely more important than the 25th or 26th, really.
Than Christmas Day, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I decided to not go to the barbecue and just be by myself and just...
But you know what? Can we just applaud you for that? Because last week you were talking about setting boundaries and you don't find time for yourself. And look at you a week later.
Look at me.
Well, you did. But you gotta know, those were not your friends. It was like not a group of your friends inviting you for barbecue and you just were like, I don't want to do it.
So
it was like acquaintances of Lucas. Lucas's, like, I know. Yeah. So you were like, I don't want to join because I don't want to, and that's fair enough.
It was easy, so I know I would have had a good time going, but I also knew, and it sounds so bad, but I also knew I'm not going to miss out if I stay home. But then again, there was the conflicting part because you're like, oh my God, it's Christmas Eve. I'm here by myself. That's not like...
Yeah, you feel pressure to do something.
Like, you know?
But it's great.
But it was fine. It was nice. I liked it.
And how did it feel for you though? Did you feel like you missed out at the end, but were you like, great,
No,
I
not at
took
the
this time for
end.
myself?
More like at the beginning when the guys left, and I was like, oh, you should just get ready and go too. And I was like, I have the couch for myself. I'm not gonna go anywhere. So done.
Yeah.
Done.
Perfect
Yeah, that
though.
was nice.
There's this inner voice that's pressuring us and be like, did we do the right thing? Did we make the right decision, or should we just
Yes.
go? And then of course you would have had fun in
And then
some
because
way.
also our housemate was like, oh my god, but that's so sad being by yourself on Christmas Eve. And I'm like,
Why
yeah,
is
but
that sad?
I guess that's because, you know, like if someone is by themselves on Christmas and I would be the same, I'd be like, invite them, and you know, but then I was like, yeah, but I chose to be by myself that night. Well, it was a couple of hours, so it's not that I was by myself the holidays, like all holidays. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, it was good, and but yours was a bit quite the opposite, wasn't it?
It was, but I wanted to add something to this
yeah.
thing that you just said before. And people are like, oh, it's very sad you're by yourself. What is sad about this? You remember, like, I think a few months ago, my grandma was like, oh, I really hope that you find someone great, like you meet a guy, so you don't have to be alone and sad anymore. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not alone. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, she didn't say alone. Lonely. You don't have to be lonely
true.
and by yourself. I'm like, first of all, I might be alone, but I'm not lonely, and I'm not sad. Like, I choose to be by myself. Of course, I would like to have someone to share certain things with. But why is it bad to be by yourself? And especially for Christmas, New Year's, why is it bad or sad that you choose to be by yourself?
Because we're not
Because
so
the image in the society is like, you have a big festivity, you have like a big meal, dinner with all your friends, family, and that's just what you have to do.
And normally you think like people who are by themselves for Christmas, for example, like, they don't have family anymore for whatever reason. Or yet like elderly people, so you invite them. So I guess it's weird. And so many people ask me like, so what did you do? Like, oh, not much. Like, really? Like, what about, dinner, lunch? I'm like, no, we just kind of skipped that part. And it was fine. Also, again, and you know that very well, being in Australia for Christmas when your friends and family are not around anyway. It's quite emotional anyway. So I think for me that it just didn't feel like Christmas was just totally fine. But yeah, we're not used to it.
And
no, it's
with
not.
The temperatures and everything being summer, you don't get I get it.
Yeah.
But like it shouldn't be like, oh, you're not celebrating Christmas, you must be sad. Like, no, I just choose to be by myself. And I really like that because last week you were like, oh, I'm very stressed out, I'm not setting the right boundaries, and maybe life has still not changed 360 degrees during the last 7 days. But at least you could have chosen to, like do this Christmas barbecue, but instead you were like, no, I'm actually happy to just be by myself.
Totally.
Do nothing. I don't know, did you watch some Christmas movies on Netflix maybe? I don't know. Yeah, like we all would. I still have to. I haven't watched anything yet.
Just wait till next year, but today. I watched one movie, the Single All the Way on Netflix.
Single All the Way?
Single All the Way, with it's about a homosexual couple. So it's a gay guy not returning, but he's invited by his family to go back home. Oh, I guess he just always spends Christmas at home. And it's the same thing. It's like he's asking his best friend. He's like, oh, can you just come home? Can we just tell my parents that, we're a couple now? Because, my parents, like, I'm this task for my parents and my family to, and then, there's a love story. And it's, I have to say it's really beautiful because it's about a gay couple. And hello, it's 2021. We totally need gay couples in movies as, the main characters. So that's great. But also I watched another movie the other day, fairly new on Netflix. I forgot the name, but where they have an Asian guy as one of the main characters. So also that's a great thing because,
the one that's catfishing, the girl. Yeah, well, I don't like the movie. I watched it and I thought like the whole message of the movie is wrong because he catfished her. He lied to her. Right. At the end they get together. Like he gets
but he has the same thing though. He has like, oh, can we just pretend that we're a couple? So my family is finally happy that I have someone at home. And
because some people are like that. They're like
pressure.
Christmas. Yeah, they look at you at Christmas and they're like, oh yeah, well, where's your partner? Like, when is it going to be the two of you? Like, where? Like, my parents luckily leave me like like let
A
me
lot,
be,
yeah, so
but
do
like
mine,
there's
yeah.
people that just put pressure on you. But yeah, they're both great
A lot.
movies. I
But
have
then,
to
I
watch the
mean,
first one.
my partner, he's I wouldn't call him the Grinch, but like he's, for him, Christmas is just like it could be any other day. So, you know,
That's so
it's
weird.
the thing like, oh, you need to have a partner, and then, you know, it's like, you know, Christmas, you need to spend Christmas together, and he's just like, eh.
Yeah,
So
there you
it's
go.
like,
You got the
okay.
partner and he doesn't like it anyway. So what, like, might as well be like
So,
by yourself on the
yeah,
sofa watching movies. That
that's
sounds
it.
good. I had
Mm-hmm.
quite the opposite for me. It was
Yes, you
busy.
did.
Went to my parents' house, went to my grandparents this yesterday.
Nice.
Loads of food, loads of
Mm.
chocolates. Goodness. Oh, yeah, there was this funny
Chocolate.
story I'll have to tell you. I mean, I told you already, but it doesn't matter. I haven't told you. So, like we all know, or maybe not, but I'm vegetarian since like, I don't know, April this year. So
Yeah.
when you go, Christmas in Germany is quite heavy on the meat. We got like duck, some people eat rabbit, some people eat like whatever. It's quite heavy. It's
Geese.
very meat based. Yeah, that's like
So we
very
don't really
meat
have
based.
turkey. Oh no, we do.
No, we don't
Well, my
eat the
grandma
turkey, but it's more like,
Anyway.
you know, duck and like all these kind of like poultry, and like we have
Yes.
like, I don't know. So we were invited for my grandparents to my grandparents for Christmas, and they prepared like 2 massive ducks. It's very funny though. We're like 5 people, and they buy these 2 big ducks, and each of us gets like a quarter, which is like, who is supposed to eat that? But anyways, my
Wow.
grandparents are like, it's a different generation. It's the generation that
Yeah.
survived war. No, that didn't survive war. What stupid. They like the
Second World War. Well, they were born probably just before, I guess, your grandparents were. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe just after. No, just before. Yeah, maybe that time.
Yeah.
But like where times were very hard, there was not much meat. For them, meat is gold. Like they need to eat meat. That's like for them very important. Anyways, I was like, okay, I should maybe talk to my grandma and let her know that I'm not eating meat anymore, so she's not disappointed that I'm rejecting her quarter duck. So I went to the kitchen. I was like, oh, Grandma, I got to tell you something. I'm not eating meat, so I will be fine. I have some potatoes and stuff, but don't worry about me. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I don't eat duck. I won't eat the duck. I don't eat meat anymore. She's like, but duck is no meat. That's not meat. I'm like, well, it is though. It's meat. She's like, no, it's not meat. It's not a pig. I'm like, it's still an animal. I'm not eating all of the animals.
It's alive, and you have to kill it to eat it. Like,
yes, it's an animal. I'm not eating any of those anymore. Any of those. No, but I'm not eating them. And she's like, oh, I don't get it. And that was very funny because, yeah, like for some people, chicken is not meat. For them, it's poultry. There's like a difference between poultry, fish, and like meat.
It's more
meat
like
is
beef
for them
and
pig,
pork.
cow, beef. Yes, beef, pork, all that kind of stuff. But it was very funny how she looked at me. She's like, what do you mean, meat? But yeah, she was happy at the end. She's fine. And I had all the sides, and it was lovely. I loved it.
Oh my god, the sides are the best. Potato dumplings. Hello.
Potato dumplings. Oh, love them. I had like
so good. And gravy.
I had 5 yesterday.
Yeah, even when I was a child, even before I started being vegetarian / vegan now, flexitarian again, whatever I am. But even before, I don't even
vegan / meat eater / flexitarian.
I'm like, I don't even know where I stand at the moment.
Desperatarian.
Yeah, desperate. Desperatarian is the best. Yes, for sure. And oh my god, like I would have maybe a small piece of, I don't know, rabbit, turkey or stuff, but like dumplings, potato dumplings, red cabbage, and
gravy. Don't forget the gravy.
But then we have to think about the gravy. Now that I think about it, gravy they use
I know
duck fat or something.
I know.
But anyway, forget about it. But yeah, just gravy and dumplings.
I'm aware. It's super yummy, and we all love it. That's the Christmas credit. And you gotta know when Tina and I were in celebrate Christmas together, like all these years we kind of together in Australia, we kind of tried to establish our own traditions. Yes. And Tina would actually try to make her own potato dumplings, and be assured they're not easy to make. So you did well,
unless I just made it the wrong way. Yeah, and I just figured out the other day with Luca that potato dumplings and gnocchi seem to be quite
true.
The same thing.
Yeah, that blows my mind. It actually is. It's both based on potatoes.
Yeah,
they're just smaller dumplings.
I don't even know what Oh, I should know, but I think potato dumplings are just, you use more potato starch than you do with. Anyway, don't quote me on that.
I wouldn't. I
So yeah,
wouldn't
but
know.
then this year I said I didn't do any potato dumplings. I was just like, no. I can't be
So,
bothered
did
to
you have
cook.
any Christmas dinner this
No,
this
actually, we
year at
didn't.
all?
So on Christmas Eve, which is our main, from Europe, I guess in Europe the main celebration day is Christmas
The
Eve, even though the
24th is
big.
our Christmas. Yeah.
Yes. So some people have their big roast on Christmas Eve already. Some, I guess, have it on the 25th. But yeah, on the 25th, no, on Christmas Eve. So the guys went out. And I ended up just snacking around. Like I actually didn't have a proper dinner.
Love it.
So
Love it.
random. And on the 20th, that was, yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
So definitely, we didn't do anything special. No, nothing. It was just
and
really
that is
easy.
totally fine.
Yeah.
How do you feel though now? Do you feel like you missed out on something? Do you feel like relaxed at least a little? Do you had a little
I
break?
do
You're not
feel like
working?
having a bit of a Christmas dinner or lunch.
Great.
Yeah, I do feel like potato dumplings
Yeah,
and
no,
gravy.
no, definitely. You should make. But mentally, do you feel like you actually
No,
took a
I
break?
think
You recharged a little?
yes and no, but then I think, and you've been saying that as well when you were in Australia, like here, because Christmas is during summer, and all of our lives, Christmas was in winter. It just I never get into the Christmas spirit at all in Australia. It's like you need to really try. So, and then being away from family and friends, it's just no Christmas markets, no
But
more
then
wine.
one day, Tina,
Yes.
one day
No, and
you're going to be back.
One day I'm gonna have a
and
really, really, really full on Christmas, and then
we will. Once you're back, if there's this one day in the future where you're back, we're just going to have this huge Tina Christmas dinner.
yes,
And it's going to be amazing.
and it's
you're
not
gonna get
about the
everything.
fact that it's Christmas. I guess it's just always because you see people being together with their family and their friends and all the yummy food. Which, I guess hanging around social media in that case
Emotional.
was a bit like. But
everyone posts about their family gatherings, don't they? And if you're by yourself, then it can get quite emotional, which I understand. And I'm sorry.
I was fine. No, I was fine actually. I didn't cry. What's wrong with me?
Well, that's good. Look at you.
No, but like seriously, and I did. I spoke to my family, but I was just like, yeah, enjoy, and I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm not by myself.
One thing you can maybe feel good about is we're actually hitting the minus 10 degrees Celsius today, which is freaking cold. So, and the thing is, and it could be snow everywhere, but there is no snow because it's like there's not a single cloud in the sky. Like there's blue skies, sun is shining, it's beautiful, but it's like it's so cold. There could be snow anywhere, but
it was
everywhere.
It was snowing, wasn't it? It was snowing.
It was snowing the day before Christmas, but then it's all gone now. Now it's just freezing cold, but no snow. So I'm just looking out of the window while I'm talking about it, and there's no snow. So surprise. But that's like I don't know, how hot is it on your end?
I think it was only like 20 degrees.
It wasn't like 14 on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and I was thinking, well, they're not so far from snowy winter.
No, I think Christmas Eve was nice. I think we're hitting a few high degrees now in the coming week, but so
I mean, summer only started, so they will be. Well, that's fun, but that's Christmas, so that's
Christmas
done and dusted. It's done. Now it's actually the last.
What are we doing New Year's Eve? Nothing.
New Year's Eve pressure sucks. Let me tell you one thing, this sucks. And I feel like when you're a teen growing up or like a young adult, New Year's Eve seems to be like the most exciting night. And you're like, I gotta do this, this, and this. And at the end of the night, it's always like the same night and it's nothing special. I mean, maybe don't get me wrong, maybe you had some really crazy good nights, but I never had. Like I always made such a big deal out of New Year's Eve and what can I do to make it special. And at the end it was like, it was just another night and nothing crazy. So last year I pulled a Tina, let me just call it that. I pulled a Tina and I met no one. I didn't do anything. I watched my favorite movie. I cooked my favorite meal. And I midnight, I celebrated myself and then I went to bed.
Oh,
and I
that's
loved
so good.
it.
You celebrated yourself. That is
Yes,
so.
I did.
Yeah, that's
I
what
did
we need
celebrate
to do.
myself. I did some meditations. I just dived deeply into what I want to change and what I've achieved. Like had like this gratitude moment, which I think we all
Great.
should do today. Today is like a good day to reflect. But yeah, I felt great, no pressure whatsoever. And then obviously COVID helped. Like, I mean,
Yeah, of
I
course.
knew there was
But
nothing you
then
could
you
do.
still have, I mean,
Anyways.
obviously, friends or groups of friends that invite you and want you to come over because they don't want you to be alone.
But there's nothing wrong. Exactly. My grandma was like, I think I talked to her and she's like, oh, so you're all by yourself tonight? I'm like, yes. And I
All by
love it.
myself.
All by myself. Don't want to be like,
I want to be.
I want to be all by
Yes.
myself. No, but I think this year I might meet up with friends tonight. Like, let me see how that goes. But yeah, no pressure. But don't you agree? It was always like this really highly anticipated night where everyone is like,
Yes.
what are you doing for New Year's? What are we doing? Like you made these big plans and then don't you
And I
agree?
think I think the last couple of years when I was still in Germany, I used to work, but just till like 10 or 11 p.m. And then I would rush to the party and then it's like, ooh, midnight. And then,
Woo, midnight.
yeah. And then one year I was like, oh, you shouldn't always work, just, and then I went to the party at 7 p.m. and I'm like, okay, I just
Yeah,
go
like
to work next year again. Yeah, I guess it depends. But then again, it could be a nice night just being together with friends or if you celebrate
have
with
a
family. I
chill
don't know. I feel like
night.
New Year's Eve is more something that, again, in Germany or Europe, that you celebrate with your friends more than celebrating it with your family.
Yeah, definitely. But there's always this one, I think this is one saying that says whomever you're spending New Year's Eve with is the one you will spend the following year most with or
Well,
spend
I
it
don't have
with the
any
most.
options
Yeah, I
yet.
know. Yeah, I know, but it's just a saying. It's just like one of
Okay.
those, sayings. So it's like whomever you're spending New Year's Eve with is the one you will spend the following year with the most. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just a saying. And then last year I was like by myself, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I want to focus. 2021, I wanted to focus on myself. And that is just, yeah.
I just realized now that the year 2018 to
2018, yeah.
2019 New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Where did you celebrate that?
Melbourne.
You went with me?
I wasn't with you. I was in Melbourne watching the fireworks with a friend and my then
And I
partner.
wasn't. And then you left me.
You
That
were
was...
you were in Germany? Weren't you in Germany or
No,
were
I
you
came
back
back.
in?
I came back, I think, just
Oh
before New Year's
yeah.
Eve.
You were on the island then though. Yeah. We lived like 1.5, 2 hours apart, so there was nowhere for us to meet up. Yeah, but that was interesting how that year changed everything
Yeah.
for all of us a little. For some more, from some less. But yeah, well, that's New Year's. But like, I'm interested. I'm excited for 2022 to happen. I hope I can see you finally. Oh, the
Yes.
other day, Tina and I were kind of dreaming about a future trip together, and I'm
Mm.
like, oh, it would be so sick. Like, it
If
would
we
be
could
so
travel
sick.
again like we used to, like we don't have to be like, oh my god, it would be so nice if we could. Back then was like, okay, can you take leave? Can I take leave? Okay, are we gonna have enough
Yes.
money? Let's go. And now it's like, hopefully we can make it. We can be on a plane, go somewhere,
And then
and
the
just
obvious, the obvious geographic distance that makes it not easier.
yes.
But what did we talk about, huh? What do you want to tell? Just
Hawaii. We
Hawaii.
yeah. Oh my god,
Ooh, that would be
that
so sick. It's just
very nice.
tricky because you are like on this one end of the planet and I'm on the other end, and we're like kind of have to meet somewhere. But Hawaii would be so sick. So
It'd
let's
be
hope
really
that just
nice.
manifests big and say like Tina and I will be in Hawaii mid next year, which would be fitting because both of our birthdays are like
Yes,
only two
and we
days
like to do
apart.
trips for our birthdays. So yeah, that'd
Oh,
be
it would be
amazing.
so sick. Or like, what else? What else do we want to achieve next year? Like as a duo and as well as for ourselves. Tina, what do you want to set boundaries? We've talked about
Yes.
that.
See friends and family.
Yeah, you will. You
Yes,
will.
I will. So that would be, I guess that's a big one. Um,
Yeah.
Oh, you got me there. I have nothing. I mean, I don't even want to say the obvious. Yeah, set boundaries. Find time for yourself.
More time for yourself, and you started this already with Christmas, more time. But then we will have a trip together. That's something I'm looking forward. Hopefully that
would be
happens.
amazing.
Hopefully we can grow this podcast to somewhat, a bigger audience. This is something I think the both of us really want to achieve. Like, I'm excited for this episode in 365 days.
Yes.
What we're looking back to. Are we still doing it? Then? Yeah, are we still doing it? Did we kind of, stop doing it because it didn't suit us anymore? But or maybe again, did we grow an audience?
We did do it. Like, we started it for ourselves. So
we did start it initially for ourselves, and this is the main thing, obviously. Yes, and it's the main focus, like I said last week. Yeah, I want this to be something good for you mainly, but
don't make it up to me for us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's people out there that are like, oh, I really do like listening to the two, and that's just maybe we can grow our audience. Who would have thought? Maybe, I don't know. We see. That's it, huh? New Year's. One thing I wanted to tell you. Oh, sorry, you go first, please. No, it's a new. It would be a completely new topic, so please.
Any other big New Year's resolutions for you? Plans, dreams?
I just want to keep going as I'm going the past few years. So that's just something. Nothing else, really. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Really, that podcast thing was on my to-do list for 2021. Yes. Actually, Tine and I talked about it in November 2020, and I really wanted to do it. And it took a year. Of course, you are very busy, so it took a while. But this is the biggest achievement for me, and I really love it. It kind of is becoming my new hobby, and I hope it is for you too. It's just a new project, and this is something I just want to grow. I want to get better at it. I want to grow the audience, and I want it to be the positive influence for you.
So, we want to be your new best friends, guys.
Yes, I want to. Yeah, I want this to be something, and especially, like I said before, for you. So that's just my main goal. Other than that, just be happy, stay happy, and that's it.
I might do the next few days. Just have a deeper look and see what else there is that I want to achieve.
But you know what? Have a deeper look and look at what you have achieved.
Yeah, I guess we have to have a look at that.
Yeah, because I kind of started. I think I am different with that. I always try to celebrate myself. You try to always forget the achievements the goals you hit, and I kind of have to remind you. Look, you've started a business, and there's so many people. Actually, you're just preparing for markets. You have your own merchandise now. I mean, no one can buy it yet, but you can dress your stuff.
We can work on that. Yes.
Yeah, we can work on that. But you have you supply.
I think material wise, and here it is. Material wise, yes. There is some achievements, some great things that happened.
Yeah,
definitely. I guess on a more personal level, that's a different story again. And I'm forever grateful for all the things that have happened to me. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, but there's always two sides to it. And I guess you're right. Sometimes we play ourselves down a bit, or we need to remind ourselves of the great things that we've done.
Yeah, celebrate yourself. Little things, little achievements are great. And
something to learn, that's going to be on the list. I'm just going to celebrate myself a bit more when I find time. Just joking. And you're very good at that. So,
but it took time as well. It took time, and it's not just coming easy. That's why this is the changes on an emotional level always take so much longer than on a, I don't know, material base.
Yes.
Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about Sex and the City because I finally managed to watch the new episodes. I actually have to watch the fourth one. I will do that today, actually.
There you go.
So I got lots to say. Samantha
Hit me because I have no idea.
Missed.
I'm probably never going to watch it. So, but I want to know everything about it.
Things I wanted to talk about. Look, my parents, your parents, they're in their mid-50s, early 50s. So, and that's what Charlotte, what's her name? Carrie and Miranda in too. And they look and pretend to be so old in that series. It's so annoying.
Really?
Like they pretend to be older than they actually are. Maybe they even look older than they actually are. Other than Miranda's kind of, she glows. She looks amazing. But everyone else is like, they have hearing issues or they have this kind of issue. I'm like, they're not old. Like they're 55, 56.
55
they're not
is not
dying.
old.
No, they're young. Like I don't get it. But like, anyways.
Then again, I haven't seen my mom for 2 years, so I don't really know.
Things might have changed, but they're still young. But like, yeah, little spoiler ahead.
Yes, spoiler.
Like in the very first episode, I think you could have not missed that. Like Mr. Big, the John, Carrie's love interest.
I even know who that is. Be surprised.
You even know that he dies, and it's such a
in
weird
the
thing.
first episode straight away.
Yeah, he does, and it's so stupid. So he has a heart attack, I think, and he's in the shower and like has this heart attack. She arrives home, I think maybe like half an hour later. I don't really know. She arrives a little bit later. Yeah. She finds him in the shower. And she's obviously, shocked and runs towards him and wants to help him. And she's like, oh no, John, oh no, John. She doesn't notice that there's a phone close by because he dropped the phone. He was about to go in the shower, had his phone, had the heart attack, dropped it. So she didn't grab the phone. She did not call the ambulance. She didn't do anything other than being like, John. And it's like for solid 5 minutes, that scene. And she's like, John. And then it ends like, and just like that, Mr. Big died. And I'm like, what? An episode ends.
And that's why I'm not watching it.
I'm like, what is happening? But that started a whole debate on why the F did she not call the ambulance? What did she do? But then another thing I read, and you talked about too, or you told me about, there was a huge debate about the finances as well, because Carrie, obviously, she was married to a very wealthy man, and then he passed away. Did she kind of make herself depend on his wealth? Is she actually financially stable too?
Is she working in Sex and the City? I don't. Again.
Yes. Oh, that's so stupid as well. Oh, sorry. Oh, God.
Tell me.
So we know how we talked about Sex and the City hasn't aged well, and they received so much criticism for not being diverse enough, for not being like, all these things. Well, they try to do everything right now, and they overdo it. Now everything you have a lot of diversity. You have gender, non-binary here, non-binary there, and then all these gender issues that are definitely obviously are like topics to talk about nowadays. But they overdo it, and Carrie now is doing a podcast, and she's like, it's so ridiculous. In this podcast, they're very straightforward. Obviously, 2021, we talk about sex and sexuality way more than we did in the 90s. And that podcast, she's like, that one other co-host, she's talking about sexuality and masturbation. And so she's like, talking to Carrie, and she's like, oh, so do you masturbate? And Carrie Bradshaw, who is known for having a sex column for like 6 seasons and Sex and the City, she's like,
true.
Oh, what masturbation? And you're like, what? Are you kidding me? Like you were the main character of Sex and the City, and now you're hosting a podcast. You can't talk about masturbation. I'm like, that's stupid.
Is that because they want to make it seem that older women?
I don't know, but then they overdo it. Then she's doing a podcast. I mean, for me, I kind of saw Carrie Bradshaw releasing another book, kind of sticking to traditional media, not doing a podcast. Obviously, I talk about COVID. They talk about Instagram. They had to talk about everything, so I kind of hated that. Sorry, I just had to vent for a little minute. That was just too much. Maybe?
Just to get
trying way too hard. Like a friend of mine, she actually said she enjoyed the old Sex and the City way more, even though they didn't hit the marks. They were not diverse enough. They were not aging well, but at least it was real. It kind of seemed real. Now it was like overdone. And it was really stupid. Anyways, I would keep watching it because I just want to know how they end it all. But but that was my little vent. Sorry,
so how many episodes are there for?
10, I think. I just came back for like a 10 small season of 10 episodes, and that's more than enough. More than enough. But
so they didn't.
And of course, another thing. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. But of course, Charlotte's daughter, like one of the main characters, her daughter is like, she's a girl, but she doesn't know she's a girl and she wants to be a boy. I mean, I do like that they talk about everything, but they talk about everything. They want to hit all the spots now because they got so much criticism that now they want to hit every spot possible you can hit. And it's just, they overdo it. It doesn't
authentic?
sell.
I mean,
No, it's not
I mean,
authentic.
it's a TV show, but it might not
You
really
can't
be
relate.
authentic.
No, it's not relatable anymore. I'm not saying it's not relatable to have a child that is going to like a transition in gender, which is obviously, like a very real thing and it's important to talk about. But Sex and the City tries to hit every single spot, and that kind of feels you're trying too hard and it's not authentic. You're just trying to not get any criticism. And guess what? They're getting criticized for it.
Because they're not doing a proper job at it.
Yeah. So that's it. That's my Sex and the City event. Back to you, Tina.
Back to me, Sex and the City, no idea. But I was reading something and I was trying to find the post again, but I couldn't. It was something about Carrie in the show, obviously being very financial dependent. That's why I was asking. So is she working? I mean, a podcast can pay you. Not sure how successful her TV show podcast is. But more about that, she was really dependent on Mr. Big financially. And if she maybe didn't, and again, I didn't watch it, so I can't, it was more like a question for you if they actually spoke about her finances, because that could have been another thing that they work on, just, to add something else to the list, for being like, okay, so your partner passed away. Are you financially stable? Especially because he was such a wealthy man. How was she set up to now live without him? Did she ever think about,
I don't really know if they're talking about it much.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I wasn't watching it by myself, so I kind of got distracted. But I think she would be somewhat financially stable because of her like books and her podcasts and stuff. But she will, of course, inherit some of Big's
it was just
wealth.
because they were saying that I think she still had her own apartment.
And it's not subletting it.
She's not subletting it, so it was empty the whole time in New York. And is it New York?
I will have to keep watching. It's in New York, yes.
And it just it is in New York. Of course it is. And like you're missing out on that rent money. Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
well, but that's obviously something that you get annoyed by, because Tina is somewhat a subletting queen. I mean, what? You're owning another thing you can celebrate yourself for. You're owning 2 properties now. It's 2021 and you have 2 properties in your name.
Very lucky.
Queen. Well,
thank you very much.
Like, you're a woman, you're owning 2. Like, look at you. Like 50 years ago, this wouldn't have been a thing. You couldn't be like saying me, Tina.
And that's why I'm talking to Carrie and be like, Carrie, why are you not subletting your apartment? What's wrong with you, Carrie?
So much money.
So I guess I'm not owning those properties by myself, but I think, and you as well, we've been through quite a financial journey.
Don't talk about me. We're talking about you now.
I've been through quite a financial educational journey, if you want to call that. So I think I was always a bit interested in that, but I just, with COVID, dug a bit deeper into property investing, share market. I mean, crypto is a big thing. NFTs, if we ever manage to understand, we can talk about that.
Let this be a thing on our New Year's resolution. Yes. Understand NFTs. Understanding NFTs. And, maybe next year we can talk about them.
That's it. But and things, they did work in our favor, I have to say, with COVID.
And Australia making it quite easy. Comparing it to Europe, getting a loan for getting a mortgage for a
definitely
house.
And I think just buying and selling is so much, I don't want to say easier, but like in Germany, I think, we buy houses or build houses and live in those houses forever, and then your kids are gonna live there. It's kind of that thing. So I don't know. But also,
I talked to my dad about it yesterday. Yeah. I talked to my dad about it, and it's this mentality in Germany where we just want to take the safe road, always want to take the safe road, and it's just for them, for Germans, having one property, it's like, I made it. I have this one property.
Enough.
That's it.
I'm going to pay
That's
it off for
enough.
30 years and that's
exactly.
it.
Because
Yes.
there's a risk. You're obviously paying this off. There's always a risk paying a mortgage off. Like, you always have a risk.
Yeah.
But like in Germany, Germans' mentality is like, that's it. I'm done. I have my property. That's it. Whereas other countries are like, let's gamble a little. Let's just invest in another property. Let's do
But
this.
then
Let's
also-
have multiple.
Also in Germany, though, it's super normal to just rent for all your life. And when you
that's
rent
fine.
an apartment or even a house, for that time, it's yours. You can paint the walls, you put in carpet, you do a new flooring. You can even tile your kitchen if you want to. So it's
Even
completely
can take a
yours.
wall down if you want to.
Like my grandma has been in an apartment for over 50 years renting. And here in Australia, it's like you rent it and your contract's only, like your rental contract only goes for what, maybe 12 months or 6 months. And then there's like an
Can't even
inspection.
paint walls.
Like you can't even put a hole in the wall, like just a, well.
Oh, I remember. I'm not missing those inspections. So
No.
every 6 months, someone from the real estate company would come inspect your apartment, see if you keep it clean, if you keep it neat, nothing is broken, whatever. And I had a cat. I still have a cat, but my cat wasn't allowed to be in the apartment. So
Yes.
the landlord, the real estate agency did not know about my cat. And I had this massive cat tree, and it was such a hassle every time to hide the cat.
We had the
hide
same
the
with
cat
the
tree.
dog at the beginning, yes.
Oh, I hated inspections. I hated
Just
them
like,
so much.
oh, we can
So
just
stress.
come when you're not there, like, just give us
Like,
the key. No,
no.
I'm gonna be there. And then you feel like,
Mm.
can you just walk the dog around the block while they're here? But then they don't tell you what time exactly they come. They're like, oh, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And you're like, can you just walk the dog for like 4 hours or keep the cat in the car?
It's crazy. I was in a car. I remember I had this little car. I was hiding between the bushes, watching them, inspecting my apartment, like, with the binoculars, like, I like the little mustache and the newspaper, like. I was like with my cat who hated the whole thing. She's like,
Yes.
no, like it's not a dog you can take for a walk. I had to be with my
No.
cat in the car, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I know. What should I do? And
What are you
I
doing
kept
here?
watching, like, she's still there. She's seeing me. I don't know. Oh, I hated it. It was so much stress. For like 2 minutes, I would walk through it and be like, it's fine. Yeah, perfect. I'm like,
taking
what?
pictures, though, they are taking pictures. And now,
oh yeah.
and here's the thing. So now I'm a landlord myself, and you want to know what's happening, I guess, in your house. But then again, those in Germany, you rent the apartments are owned by big companies. I mean, a few of them are owned privately as well, but majority, even the houses, like they're all they're owned by corporations. So I guess people don't really care as much. As long like
there's
when you move
specific
out,
insurances as well if something gets broken or like ruined. Whereas you kind of are effed if someone is ruining your property.
In Australia is a very tricky thing.
So then you think, as a landlord, every like a half-year inspection is a good thing?
No, like, and to be honest, sometimes it's better not to know what's going on. Believe me, been there, done that.
Mr. Worldwide, been there, done that. Yeah, it is. Oh God.
No, but like also because I'm on both ends and I understand it, but then my God, people have things
invasive as well, don't you think? I feel like it's invading your privacy a bit too much.
And them taking pictures. So what do? You put all your stuff into the closet.
So they're taking pictures of your apartment with all your stuff, and they send these pictures to the landlord, I guess, or maybe keep it for them for themselves. I don't know, but like this is so creepy sometimes. Like someone walking through your apartment. I get it if you want to move out and you need to get a new tenant and you need to, I get that, but like, oh yeah, I didn't understand.
I think what they should do is that real estate, even though they're still invading your privacy, but let them come in, have a look around, but you don't need to take pictures. Like I prefer you staying here 5 more minutes, having a closer look at things, but don't take pictures and send them off.
Yeah, no.
So
that's the. But anyways, to go back to you, I mean, you managed to, get 2 properties, even though, yes, you're sharing them with your partners, but still, it's a success. You start a business, you start a podcast. Like, wow. And like, even though you might not, on an emotional level, might not be like, feel like you want to celebrate every achievement, but like, gotta say, even though you might not be happy always, you're making the best out of, or you're making the most out of
Oh,
your
yeah, I do
situation.
think I do that. For sure. I have to give myself credit for that.
Yes, it's not like you let's just say you come back in a couple of years, you move back to Germany, and you will not be
Yes, I will.
thinking, "Oh, I wasted my time." Yeah, you definitely will, but I don't think, or I don't
No.
want you to think you wasted your time, because you made make the most out of it.
And I
Like,
guess,
it's
I mean,
great.
it's not just about material things, but not having friends and family around. I think the main thing is, and it's not that I don't have any friends, but I don't. Um, but it's like I don't. No. But okay, you
Well, we're
don't.
laughing, actually, it's sad, but like, you have a
Yeah,
lot of
it is.
friends,
No, but
but
it's
you
like
can't.
you don't spend
Yeah,
as much money anymore, and that's for the financial journey that I've been on. So I think you did that too. We used to send
we're
presents to
not
our families,
speaking
and
about
I
myself.
know, but I'm just
Speaking
saying we
about
used
you
to do that
now.
as well. That you
Yeah.
sending parcels or gifts from Australia to Germany is
They never
so
arrived.
expensive. So then
And then they
and just
never
yeah,
arrive.
and they never arrive. Yeah, that's the second thing. You spend money for nothing,
And they come
literally.
back three
And
months
then
later.
but then you I lost the plot. Oh, it's you don't give it to them personally anyway. You order online, but then at one point you're just like, yeah, we don't really gift each other things anymore. You might give some money for a friend's present, but it's not as much anymore. You don't go out with them.
Not
You don't
as
buy
involved.
presents all the time because you do buy things in between. So that's saving
Yeah.
money, and then not being able to fly home, which we spent most of our money on.
Yeah.
And having a job through COVID, grateful for that. Thank you. Just helped as well a lot. So I guess it
To
was bad not seeing
refocus.
yeah,
Yeah. To
bad not seeing
refocus.
friends or family, but
Yeah.
like good in a way of saving money and being able to go ahead with things that I never thought I'd be able to go ahead with.
Yeah, especially this whole financial journey. Like, the
Mm.
both of us always thought investing is really just something
So,
for
yes,
the rich and the smart, and like people like that had a lot of money.
we
And
are
now we
smart.
kind of,
Come on.
I do actually think we're quite smart. I don't even want to, praise us too
Yeah.
much. I think we're smart. But anyways, we always thought it's for the rich. And then you discovered this whole investing into ETFs and stock market and crypto and even art, all that stuff. And I remember in the beginning when you told me about it, I was like, what's the gibberish she's speaking about? Like, I don't understand a thing. But I was like, okay, fair enough. And I even remember thinking, oh, I feel like this is more like playing poker, a little bit too much
Yeah.
gambling for me.
Yes.
But then the more you kept on going, talking about it, the more I was like, oh, I want to read myself into it too. And now I feel myself, I find myself teaching people the
About it,
knowledge
right? Ah,
that
yes.
I learned through you, I learned through myself because I educate myself online, all that stuff. And that's amazing. Like, once again, women putting money, investing their own money, like, this is just something that's not lots
100%.
talked about.
And
Like, we
someone
can
who's
celebrate ourselves for it.
yeah, someone who's
Once again,
investing might be like, oh yeah, like what are you talking about? So easy. But then don't forget, we come from a background where our parents didn't invest.
no.
I mean, your
Although they
parents,
did invest, but you gotta
yes,
know there was the
true.
wall, and once the wall came down and the DDR, as we all
GDR,
remember,
yeah,
yeah, the DDR,
DDR,
um, the German Democratic Republic back then,
yes.
kind of fell apart. And I remember my parents, I was talking to them
Mm,
about it, about investing again. They were like, well, we're kind of scared because we were investing back then. Then the wall came down and we lost everything. And now we don't feel, once again, Germans need to need to
we
feel
need to be
safe and
safe.
rest assured
Yes.
that everything is safe. And they a bit worried about investing again. And this new wave of this new generation, millennials, and I think even Gen Z, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And
they
it's
just reinvent themselves.
so much easier nowadays to invest as well because
Oh,
everything is
yes.
online, but you don't learn that in school. Like, please start teaching that in school. Like, you don't learn that. So if you don't have anyone in your family when you're young that, tells you about investing or is maybe investing for you, um, like, how are you going to know? So I had, like, in university, my professor was talking about it and I always felt like, oh, that's so great. I want to do that. But I just didn't read myself into it because I was like, yeah, no, it's not
I
for
don't
me. And
think
then
you can do it.
where do you get the money from? Because you need so much money to invest. Because again, no one tells you, no, you don't need that much money. And
You need as little as, and in Germany, there's some things, some saving plans. There, like you
yes,
need as little as like €1 sometimes, or $10 even. Ten
yeah.
bucks is already, some you need
Nowadays it is
30.
$10. And I remember my mom is big on saving as well. She was like, no, you gotta save your money for, the bad days, which is good at one point, but we know now that there's my interest rates and the banks and whatever it is.
Inflation.
And yeah, your money sitting in a bank is not really making you any money anymore. And there's gambling issues in my family as well, or was back then. So yeah, it's like investing is gambling. Why would you do that? And
Yeah.
it's
And you just can only educate them and educate yourself further and further and further. And that's what we really want to do, huh? Next year is supposed to be like even bigger and bigger.
And then
And there's
just
podcasts you can follow and channels, isn't there? Like
oh,
this girls
so
that
many good
invest.
girls that invest. I think they're from New Zealand, and I think they're great. I don't know too many. That could be you in Germany, a German teaching about finance.
I feel like especially women, hi, once again, there's not
Yes.
like a really female-led part talking about finance. More like, because once again, it always seemed to be like a
couples.
thing for men. Yeah, it seemed to be like a thing for men mostly than for women.
I think there's
But yeah.
two German social media accounts that I follow, and it's couples talking about finances.
Yep.
But I don't know. Yeah, there's great ones in Australia. She's on the money. She is amazing.
Oh yes.
And you can listen to it. I guess it doesn't matter if you're in America or India.
Well, there's a multi-country thing a platform called Instagram and Spotify.
So,
you can find them all on there.
Oh, they're so great. Yes, but yeah, there might be another thing on our business list. Just to
let this be
German
the biggest
finfluencers.
gift. Yes, and let this be the biggest gift to yourself. Rethink your finances. Rethink your investing. By the way, gift. Did you gift yourself anything? Like, I like to gift myself something for the end of the year or Christmas.
Normally
did you spoil
I do.
yourself?
And
didn't?
No, I feel like
I have
did,
something,
and I can't remember. So talk about yours first, Emma.
Well, I got this really nice bag that I don't know if I showed it to you. Yes. So the company is called Got Bag. Got Bag creates this really nice roll top,
like GOT
roll up bags. Yeah, GOT, like Got Bag, and they create this really nice roll up bags. I don't know if it's a thing in Australia. In Berlin, everyone has these bags. You can roll them up, and there's like everyone seems to have them. It was like the first thing I noticed back then. I was like, wow, why is everyone wearing this? But they're really cool because it fits so much in it.
Yeah.
And there's this company, like I said, Got Bag, and they create their bags with ocean plastic. So these bags are fully 100% made out of ocean plastic. And let me just show you this little beauty.
Yes, please.
I feel like I'm in this one advertising show. So I prepared a little something here for you. Wow,
so many people have asked me about my bag. So here it is.
So
I love it. And I love the color 20% so much off
as well. I Got Bag. No, but like,
no,
not sponsored. But look at the color. It's huge now. It looks huge next to me. But look at this beautiful bag. And this 100% made of ocean plastic. So 100%. What a good thing. Like 100%. Like everything you see on here has been fished out of the ocean in Indonesia, I think.
Yes.
Which is such a great thing. Oh, and it's more and more happening, and I really love it. And you told me about it. Like, didn't you just start like cleaning beaches as well and stuff? Like, you do your little part as well.
I feel when you have a dog and you walk your dog, it's your task. You have to pick up trash if you see it. And because I walk my dog on the beach quite a lot, especially, trash on the beach needs to be picked up. And look, I don't pick up every little piece, but if there's cans and glass, because glass takes 5 million years
if even.
Yeah, so I think it's all of our tasks. So it's great that they do that. I just wonder, here's the thing. How much energy did it cost to produce that base? So was it a environmentally friendly process in producing a bag like this? But again, that's great because what else are we going to do with that plastic? Nothing. So
I think they do really claim to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
yeah.
Like I would have to fact check it how much they actually like produce in CO2 to produce those bags. I don't really know. But like you said, they already go quite far to achieve or to save the planet. But I remember in Australia, close to the ocean side, and I think even where you lived, there were these diving projects where you would dive for plastic. Like you would dive into the water, there's a group of snorkelers that would go through the ocean and collect
And just pick
everything
up things. And I think there's
and
like
pick up things along the way.
the cleanup Australia Day or something.
Ocean cleanup, it's called, I think.
Yes, and I remember then there would be like local businesses would be, oh, I don't know, if you bring me a bag of plastic or trash that you picked up, I'm gonna give you a voucher for, I don't know, the coffee shop. Or so they've
Great.
tried a few things now to get more and more people picking up trash, and that's great. But then again, I think we should do that throughout the year. I mean, not those
Yeah,
little
we
events,
all
but
should.
just. But I guess with those events, you just make people more aware. Yes. And
but there's lots of things
people
you
feel
can do for
uncomfortable
yourself.
picking up things. So I realized that with the people that I walk my dog, and again, I don't pick up everything, but if I do, and then they're like, and I'm like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to feel uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, don't pick things up. That's fine. But you could see like that at the beginning. They were a bit like, oh my God, is anyone here? Can anyone see me? But then now they're just like, yeah, I'm going to pick it up because it's like, why would that be embarrassing? So.
There's nothing embarrassing about it. If you just casually do it, like I don't even need to tell them, oh, now I'm picking up this plastic bottle. You just do it as you go.
I'm picking up something.
Look at me, I'm doing this. But you just do it and then hashtag, yeah, look at me, I'm the best. No, everyone can do a little. And like even I mean, I could go to parks as well and clean up, but I'm not walking my dog and I'm not noticing as much as I could.
Yeah. And I think in the city, I don't know, I feel like Berlin.
Oh, there are groups that actually meet up in parks and clean up parks. Like even a friend of mine would organize such groups. They're really great. It's like everyone tries to do their part, but even like I did with my bag, invest in companies that try to produce as sustainably and environmentally friendly as possible.
And we don't have to be perfect in everything, like just because because I pick up like, okay, so I might do something else wrong. But I think it's those little things that,
if everyone does a little bit, that could go a long way. And that's just
100%.
Maybe that's something we should all like aim for 2022. Do a little bit more. A little bit more. Focus on finance and focus on investing into sustainably friendly companies. Rethink your purchases. Rethink fast fashion. A lot of things.
Is big one.
Lot of things, like use second. I actually like to order my coats and stuff from like a secondhand place, and it's an online website. I don't think it's like Europe wide or worldwide. It's just based in Germany. But anyways, there's like an op shop, stuff everywhere where you live. There's somewhere you can get like secondhand clothing. I get it. Some people like look.
So
it's good
it's
stuff.
not just secondhand clothing, but you on the website that you use, I think there's clothing there that still has the price tag on it. So
yes, it's like it's not even worn. Even things like this. My mic. I bought it off Amazon warehouse. Yes, it's not brand new, but it's as close as, because someone opened the package, it cannot be sold as brand new anymore, and it would either way get thrown out. Or you buy it for, first of all, I saved like $50 buying this because someone opened the package. Which is a lot. Yeah, but this is something you can do. That's something we can all do. Try to do little steps.
And especially with the fashion thing. I mean, and I think we all realized that through the pandemic that working from home means you don't need to have a different outfit every day. You don't go out to clubs. And I mean, it's nice to dress up, like, don't get me wrong, but I think we all realized that you don't need to buy something new every weekend. And so
rethink your purchases 100%. And invest your time, money, and energy into more rewarding resources. Maybe that's because it feels good. And when I
Yeah.
got the bag, I was like, wow, I felt really great. I know maybe like, of course, lots of marketing as
It's
well.
not
Once
just
again, you know,
but it's not just a nice bag that you enjoy, but like, you know, it's a bag that's made of, you know, ocean plastic. Like,
yeah, and I'm telling everyone, believe me, everywhere I go and I have this bag, I'm like, have you
by the
noticed my
way,
bag? By the way, it's made of 3.5 kilograms of ocean plastic.
Wow.
And they're all like, wow. I mean, it does help that this bag is really pretty. But
yes,
yeah,
probably.
it's just like everywhere I go, I'm like, so have you seen my bag? Have you? Oh, now that you look at my bag, haven't
Let
told
me
you.
just
It's
let
like
me just show
3.5.
you
Let me just quickly show.
your
Let
new
me just
Tinder
quickly tell about my bag.
profile picture. Like, here's my
Yeah,
god
it's just my
bag.
bag. So yeah, this is not sponsored. Like obviously not. No one is sponsoring us at this
Not yet,
stage.
but you know, God bag. If you listen to
Maybe
it,
one day.
hello.
But Got Bag,
Yes,
I'm pretty sure Got Bag ships to the US and it ships within Europe. I don't know if they ship to Australia.
that's all right. You can
but
do that part.
They ship nearly like, and if even like invest into local products. Tina is creating pasta, handmade pasta, like that's a great
Yes.
thing too. Invest into locally made products if you can, obviously, if you can,
Because
if you can
sometimes
afford
they
it, if you
are a
can.
bit, we have to say that they are a bit more expensive. And as much as
Yes.
I try to support local, which I feel like in Australia or where I live, it's just a bit easier because there's so many small businesses around, but don't go over budget. So here's the thing. That's the tricky bit. Like, it's great to support local businesses, but we know because they produce in, you know, lower quantities, the price might be a bit more expensive. So and if you're happy to pay the price difference, great, because you know who produced your product. But sometimes we just can't, and
Yeah,
that's
no.
okay, and we shouldn't feel
It's
bad about it. So yeah,
no,
I've been in
it's a
situations like this.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Like
Yeah.
sustainability can sometimes be more expensive. I mean, you have to pay more money, but
Yes.
sometimes it doesn't. It really depends. But like it's tricky. Do what you can do. Try to be as environmentally friendly as you can. And yeah, I mean, like once again, we're trying to. We don't know it all.
No,
But yeah.
no.
Wow.
Cool.
Yes. So let's just see how 2022 goes for us and for everyone else.
And I think we have a little project which we talked about last time as well. I'm just looking for the mountain.
What little project? I forgot it already. What
the
little
book,
project?
our book club.
Oh, the book. The Mountain is You. Oh yeah, show it, Tina. Beautiful.
It is. The
Can't
mountain.
wait to start. I think I might start reading it tonight.
Yes, I think we were trying to maybe have it through. It's what, 240 pages, so that's
easy. It's done in a day.
And lots of paragraphs, so that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be so interesting. So that's something that we can talk about next time.
And I love it that we start reading this book, like ending this year, beginning the new year. Oh yeah, we're shaping once again our focus on ourselves.
So transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. Ooh.
Self-sabotage. There's a huge chapter we can talk about next episode because there's a bit of a dating update on my end, but that's nothing to talk about today.
No.
Because today is celebrating Tina once again, celebrating you,
celebrating us.
Myself.
Yes, celebrating us.
Celebrating ourselves once 100%. Again first as well. Yes. So let's see, what does the 100 question, 100 statement game?
Celebrate yourself first.
Yeah, that would be. What does it say this time?
Oh, Well, today I will respond to every situation carefully and with consideration. Does that fit our topic today?
Well, it doesn't need to fit, but like, what is it today? Say it again, please.
Today I will respond to every situation carefully and with consideration.
Yes, because you and I, we can get emotionally charged sometimes, and therefore our responses can be quite impulsive, and that can hurt people. So yeah, let that be something we're working on as well. Like, I think maybe
Not to
people
be a
say to have
bitch.
like a little breather, not to be a bitch, yeah, but like to have a little
just-
breather before you respond, to have like even text messages. I heard the other day, if you're like in a fight or something, to just have like put your phone away for an hour and just then respond. Don't respond immediately. Like obviously if you need to, that's a different story, but sometimes it's maybe easier to be like 10, 9,
because also
8.
if you can take yourself away from a situation like this, if you can, in an hour things just seem so different and you have a different view on things.
A good night's sleep can change everything.
But in a fight, if there's no way out, like just always stand to yourself. Come on. Don't let people take you down.
Yeah, I know, but in a fight sometimes like
yes.
you have to be careful that you not let your emotions control the conversation, because sometimes we get emotionally
and that's
affected.
We could go so deep in that topic as well, but like
yeah,
the things are like, why do you react the way you do? What's behind that? Like, there's not just always the obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
wow. Yeah, I think maybe we should reshape our episodes and start with the statement first, because we could talk on for hours about this statement. Because this just does deserve so much more time. Like, we're already talking since an hour, and I know none of you guys is going to listen until
not now, but maybe in a year.
Maybe in a year they're looking back. But yeah, still, we're all working on that.
Mm-hmm.
To not let our emotions get the best of us.
No. Maybe sometimes, but that's okay. It's all good.
That's okay. Great. You acknowledge it. That's the first step, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's 2021, huh?
That is 2021 for us. Wow.
Here's to 365 new days. Here's to a new empty page. It's not that empty actually, but like can be.
Look, it's totally fine not having New Year's resolutions, because you don't always need to don't worry about it. Like if you have some, it's great. Start them before the 31st if you can. And if you don't, like, that's fine. Things like you'll figure it out along the way.
Just like it's not important, like focus on yourself all day, all year. And don't make it like a resolution. Don't make it a thing on your to-do list once again, because the resolutions are just another to-do list. Best is to not have any to-do lists. But yeah, let's see what 2022. Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I just hope, like, for the world, come on, give us some rest. Make it.
Give us a break.
Yeah, I think
I'm happy to see you, hopefully. Oh, that would be great.
That's going to happen.
Ooh, so here's to 2022. We finished 4 episodes this year. 4 episodes, yes, we have 4 episodes in 2021. That's a celebration. Woo, love it.
Good on us.
Here's to 50 more.
Yeah, at least. Well, at least 26 each weekend. Anyway, okay, enough of us.
Enough. We should just.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, and that's it. Let's talk the thought. 2021.
Talk the thought for sure. Bye bye.
Bye bye.